Hello there and welcome to the program. This is Energy and You, a show that brings you weekly developments in Nigeria's energy sector with a focus on NNPC Limited. I'm Egusa Igumbo. Tonight, NNPC Limited promises to support communities affected by the devastation from the fire incident at the Buguma wellhead in Rivers State. It says the explosion was caused by oil vandals. Details of these and other stories in a moment. Please stay with us. Welcome again to the program. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has warned the general public against the fake online recruitment announcements for the Port Harcourt refining company. NNPC Limited clarified that there is no new or separate recruitment exercise for the Port Harcourt refinery other than the one which started last year, which also includes all NNPC Limited's businesses. It says the only recruitment exercise is already in its final stage, with graduate trainees and experienced hires currently going through rigorous assessments. Energy and You has been following up this process.
The exercise, which is taking place at the NNPC headquarters in Abuja, is to comprehensively evaluate candidates on their technical expertise, professionalism, and alignment with the company's core values. Mrs. Fatima Yakubu is the Chief Human Resource Officer of the company, and she has this to say on the recruitment exercise.
This is the third stage. After the application, they did the CBT, and now they are going for interview. It's a whole process for the company to renew its talent, to get people that will come and help us to meet our goals. NNPC is an equal opportunity employer, and they have a very fair chance of getting in there. And we're looking forward to having the best of the best join us.
In line with its dedication to inclusivity, NNPC Limited has ensured equal opportunities for persons with disabilities, creating a level playing field for all. This commitment is part of the company's broader strategy to build a diverse and inclusive workforce. The presence of officials from the Federal Character Commission further reinforces the transparency and fairness of the recruitment exercise.
And all Nigerians are employed in this good Nigerian company. So that is why we are here, to ensure that every state, every local government, it's possible, have one representative, but they must do well. In as much as we talk of character balance, you must try as much as possible to talk of merit. You must do well before you can be able to be considered, because they are going to compete with you are going to compete seriously with other people in the oil and gas industry in the whole world. It's not just Nigeria.
The head, Talent Management, Mr. Musbahu Habib, provided valuable insights into the significance of the ongoing process, highlighting on how NNPC Limited leveraged on innovation and technology to ensure the seamless execution of the recruitment process.
In terms of the major improvements we've seen over the years, the last time we did this was in 2019. Of course, we've actually been able to leverage more on technology. First of all, I'm actually very pleased to note that the portal that we have was actually built in-house by our own people. We didn't have any third party. Our IT team built this. And a significant portion or membership of that team that built this portal are people we recruited in 2019, 2020, young professionals. So we're really, really proud and want to leverage on that. And that's why we're improving the process. Regarding people with disabilities, we had a lot of engagements with JAMB. Right from the portal, we're able to provide avenues for people to indicate if they had any challenges or disabilities, and then we made provisions. We had special meetings with JAMs. We got the JAM consultants to advise us, and so they actually had a very seamless and a remarkable experience for people with living abilities. Many of them passed the test, and many of them are actually going through the interviews, and we've been able to manage that very well. And overall, we actually have a lot of collaboration from our staff across the entire business. So we have staff across different BUs, not only Abuja here, that are participating right from the CBT stage up to the interview stage where we are right now.
As the interviews continue, Candidates have expressed confidence in the structured and transparent nature of the exercise. Many have commended NNPC Limited for its professionalism and inclusivity throughout the process.
And the process has been seamless and very, very easy, and the organization is efficient with the way they handled the procedure. There were no complaints. They made sure that we're okay, and I really like that. So kudos to NNPC Limited.
To be fair, I think the process was credible enough. They provided us with refreshments. The whole treatment was nice, and the interview room was comfortable. The panel made us feel comfortable and relaxed, and yeah, the questions were fair. So I think the whole process was very credible.
One of the things I find to actually attest that this whole process is credible is the fact that we were called for the interview. So if it's not something that would be credible, we would have not been called even after being successful after the CBT examination. So, and afterwards, I have seen that it's going to be a credible process all through, because that attests to it that it's going to be a credible process. If it's not going to be a credible process, then we could have just been successful at the examination and then not informed. And then let's say the politics would be played behind. But that, to me, because that's particularly what I thought of. And that's what gave me the confidence to still come today, despite not having any political affiliation, knowing anybody in NNPC. And I believe strongly, by God's grace, I'm going to get the job opportunity.
Thank you so much for putting this together, for giving everyone a fair chance to apply to get into this stage, because many people out there might not really believe when you tell them that you are applying for something like this. But I want to say thank you to NNPC for giving us a very good treatment during this process, for making it seamless to us, and for also helping us to understand that it is not just about you trying to maneuver your way. You can actually do it the right way. Thank you.
On their way to the interview, some candidates found themselves in an unexpected and life-threatening situation. Despite being involved in a serious accident, their resilience and determination pushed them to continue their journey.
Throughout the process, when I was invited for my CBT, the CBT was held in Enugu, very close to my place. So I just went for the exam. The process was very seamless, as I said. So, and after the CBT exams, I was invited for the interview. Okay, my interview was scheduled to happen on the 17th of January. So on my way coming here on Thursday, I was involved in an accident at Lokoja. After the accident, I got first aid treatment in a clinic in Lokoja. But after the whole treatment, I was still able to make it to Abuja that night and showed up for my interview in the morning. I was very serious and very committed. I really wanted to be here. So I made sure I came here. But immediately the medical team spotted me in the morning. They were so sure that I could not continue with the interview looking that way, because I'm looking much better now, because my eye was really swollen. I could barely see with my right eyes. And the injury to my head, they were worried maybe it might be more complicated than it looked. So they took me, the medical team, took me to their hospital, the care, the attention, the scans that were run on me, things that I could possibly not even be able to do for myself. But the management made sure to take care of me in more ways than I could imagine. And I am very grateful for this, for the opportunity to be back here again, for the opportunity to be given a second chance at life.
Came for the interview. I had a little hiccup on my way. I left a bit too early and got into some trouble with some bad people. But I'm fine, And actually, NNPC took care of this. I went to their clinic and they stitched me up and put a bandage around my head and waited. Rescheduled my interview until when I was better to come and take it last today. And it has been a free, fair, and credible process. So I would say it has been free and fair, it has been credible, and I'd encourage people to try it next time when NNPC is recruiting, and they should be, encouraged. They shouldn't feel like, maybe somehow it's rigged or some people have an advantage over others, or, you should just go ahead and take it.
The recruitment exercise underscores NNPC Limited's commitment to identifying exceptional talent. that will drive the company's mission of energy sustainability and national development. As the final stage of the recruitment process gradually comes to an end, NNPC Limited's vision of building a globally competitive and inclusive workforce comes closer to reality.
The National Energy Company says the fire incident at its Buguma wellhead 008 in Rivers State was caused by pipeline vandalism. The facility, operated by its subsidiary, NNPC 18 Operating Limited, was sabotaged by vandals attempting to compromise the Christmas tree and steal crude oil. The company said the unfortunate incident, which also resulted in severe damage to the well's back pressure valve, reflects a disturbing pattern of repeated attacks on wellheads in the zone.
Since March 2023, crude oil theft on the Buguma wellhead has been persistent, with criminals now resorting to extreme measures, including the use of dynamite to destroy installations and illegally access hydrocarbons. Despite this, NNPC Limited says it remains committed to combating these fires and mitigating the financial losses associated with these criminal activities, which place a significant burden on the nation's economy. The energy company said it's working closely with relevant security agencies to put an end to these acts of vandalism. Additionally, NNPC Limited reaffirms its commitment to supporting communities affected by these destructive activities. It says it will continue to provide necessary relief efforts to mitigate the impact on those affected.
Well, let's take a look at the progress made in NNPC's ongoing war to end crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism.
The war on crude oil theft rages on, and the industry-wide security collaborations to safeguard hydrocarbon infrastructure continue to yield remarkable results. Between 18th and 24th of January 2025, a total of 159 incidents were recorded across the Niger Delta region. Thanks to the coordinated effort of NNPC Limited's Command and Control Center, Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited, Maton Engineering Nigeria Limited, Shell Petroleum Development Company Limited, Oando PLC and government security agencies. This week, a major breach was reported on the Oando to NLNG Bonny gas pipeline system in Rivers State. The vandalism of a gas pipeline forced a shutdown, disrupting gas supply to Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas, NLNG. Security operatives have intensified their efforts, uncovering several instances of pipeline vandalism. In Ikensi and Oruma, Bayelsa states, illegal connections to condensate pipelines were exposed. Similar breaches were discovered in Ugu, Edo State, Ipu South, Abia State, and at a wellhead in Buguma, Rivers State. As of this report, all illegal connections have been removed and repairs have been successfully carried out. The crackdown extended to illegal refineries, with operatives dismantling sites at Bile, Boni, Oigbo, Okaki, Ayama, and Ward 7, Dema Abbey, all in Rivers State. These operations ensured the complete destruction of sites, leaving no room for further illegal activities. Additionally, multiple illegal storage sites were uncovered. Large quantities of crude oil stored in leather bags, sacks, and reservoirs were found at locations like Ebocha, Akwa Odogwa, Ogba Egbema, Ndomi, and Oyibo in Rivers State, Egbema A in Imo State, Ugu in Edo State, and Ikot Ekpene in Akwa Ibom State. On the roads, security forces intercepted vehicles loaded with stolen crude oil at Imiringi, Otukpo, and Asikoro in Bayelsa State. Ebocha in Rivers State, and Ukpatu in Edo State. The waterways were not left out, as wooden fiber boats carrying stolen crude oil were seized at Asa, Buguma Southeast, and Ward 7, Dema Abbey in Rivers State, as well as Southern Ijo in Bayelsa State. This week's coordinated efforts highlight the relentless commitment of security operatives in combating oil theft and vandalism across the nation. The week's incident spread across various corridors: 72 in the Central Corridor, 41 in the Eastern Corridor, 7 in the Western Corridor, and 39 in Deep Blue Water. A total of 25 suspects were arrested and handed over to government security agencies for further investigation. For NNPC Limited, the resolve remains unshaken. The fight against crude oil theft will continue until the menace is eradicated for good.
Still to come, NNPC Foundation screens over 3,400 Nigerians for cancer in a significant move to promote health and wellness. Details shortly. Please stay with us.
We are the dynamic global energy company of choice, steering the course of Nigeria's biggest export industry. With years of commitment, delivering greater value and improving lives, NNPC is transformed to better meet your everyday energy need as the largest contributor to the Nigerian economy, generating clean, sustainable energy with integrity, excellence, and creating value for all stakeholders.
Energy for today, energy for tomorrow, energy for tomorrow. Come on, let's go.
You're still watching Energy and You. Now, NNPC Foundation, the corporate social responsibility arm of NNPC Limited, has successfully carried out cancer screening for about 3,441 persons across the country. The initiative is part of the company's broader commitment to improving the health and well-being of Nigerians, a demonstration of NNPC Foundation's dedication to saving lives and reducing the burden of cancer on communities.
The NNPC Foundation's cancer screening initiative is just one aspect of the company's comprehensive approach to promoting health and wellness in Nigeria. The foundation has also invested in various other health-related programs and initiatives, demonstrating its commitment to improving the lives of Nigerians. Mrs. Emanuela Arukwe, the Managing Director of NNPC Foundation Limited, explained the foundation's focus on cancer. She noted that long before its transformation into a limited liability company, NNPC has been involved in various health intervention programs ranging from building and equipping health centers in host communities to medical outreaches to communities.
We have decided to reach out to Nigerians, NNPC being a company that is owned by every Nigerian. Over 200 million Nigerians have the ownership of NNPC. And because of that, we wanted to showcase the fact that we touch many more lives in many more ways, not just negatively but positively. And that's why we have decided to give health care during this Cancer Week. We have decided to conduct screening for cancer in all the 6 geopolitical zones. And that is why we have decided to hold in Gombe here for the Northeast. And we are holding it in other 5 zones, like in the South-South, we are holding it in Port Harcourt. In the Southeast, we are holding it in Owerri, in Imo State. In the Southwest, we are holding it in Akure, in Ondo State. And then in the Northwest, we are holding it in Kaduna. And then in the North Central, we are holding it in Makurdi, in Benue State. Coupled with this.
The foundation had earlier carried out a similar free cancer screening campaign in February 2024 in Abuja. The objective of the free screening campaigns is to counter the trend of late-stage diagnosis, which occur frequently due to limited access to screening facilities, cultural stigmas, and insufficient awareness. Cancer remains one of the most formidable health challenges in Nigeria, with over 79,000 cancer-related deaths annually, according to the World Health Organization (WHO). The most common cancers affecting Nigerian men include prostate and liver cancer, while women are predominantly impacted by breast and cervical cancers. The Foundation's intervention in the health sector is not restricted to the provision of free cancer screening.
The two-day Africa Energy Summit has ended in Tanzania. The summit provided a platform to address Africa's energy challenges, focusing on accelerating energy access in underserved regions, renewable energy, energy sufficiency, and mobilizing private sector investment. Well, here's a summary of other major international energy news for this week. Oil prices fell on Monday after U.S. President Donald Trump called on OPEC to reduce prices. Trump's announcement is part of wide-ranging measures to boost U.S. oil and gas output since he returned to office. Brent crude futures dropped 35 cents to $78.15 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was at $74.26 a barrel. That's down by 40 cents. Meanwhile, investors are snapping up crude oil futures as a hedge against the risk that Donald Trump's threats of trade tariffs will cause a resurgence in global inflation. This added momentum to a recent rally in oil prices, sparked by a tightening of sanctions on Russia. In the meantime, Saudi Arabia may raise crude prices for Asian buyers in March. It might be the highest in more than a year after benchmark prices spiked on higher demand from China and India as U.S. sanctions disrupted Russian supply. The March official selling price for flagship Arab light crude may jump by $2 a barrel from February. U.S. energy firms have cut the number of operating oil and gas rigs for a third week in a row to the lowest since December 2021. The oil and gas rig count, an early indicator of future output, fell by 4 to 576 in the week to January 24. Energy services firm Baker Hughes said this week's decline puts the total rig count down by 45, below this time last year. Spanish oil company Repsol plans to invest 4 billion euros in data centers. The planned data centers would be located near the northern Spanish city of Zaragoza. The Zaragoza area is set to become a major cloud computing hub, with technology giants such as Amazon and Microsoft having already announced massive investments in the area. US-based Diversified Energy says it will buy private equity-owned Maverick Natural Resources for $1.28 billion, including debt. The plan is to expand into the oil and rich gas Permian Basin. Diversified Energy focuses on producing natural gas and liquids. It will take on about $700 million of Maverick Natural Resources debt, giving the combined company a value of about $3.8 billion. And before we go, a word of caution from our health and safety professionals against any fire disasters.
My advice is, please, they say ignorance is not an excuse for you to fall victim. We should desist from this act because, number one, you are endangering yourself and also everyone around you, because assuming you take that fuel back to your house and you don't even know how to store it, so it can catch fire and not only burn you down but also burn every other person that is around you.
Anytime they see something like that happening, you should try and run away.
So what do we need to do is to partner with government agencies, non-governmental organizations, community-based organizations to give this education and awareness to the people. That please, when you see falling tanker, you should run away instead of going to scoop the fuel because it can lead to your death. And that will be the end of it.
And that's the show tonight. Thanks as always for joining us. If you missed any part of the show or previous episodes, you can catch up by scanning the QR code on your screen now. Do remember to follow us on all our social media handles to get updates of all the activities of NNPC Limited. I'm Egosa Igumbo. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you again next time.